What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cantina Jargon. I am Joe with Jargon, joined by Caden from Cantina Talk. We are streaming on both channels right now. And welcome back to our stream.
Yeah. Week number 10. Not consecutively, just in the number category. It's our
That's
10th
right.
episode. Yeah.
10th episode. Wow. And only maybe our third live stream, right? Or is it
Yeah.
third?
And honestly, I'm liking these live a lot more than I am like pre-recorded. Like it just, I don't know. It
Yeah, it kind of has like a random flow to it, which makes it
it's definitely unexpected.
good.
Like, I mean, it's always unexpected, but it's more unexpected because anything could happen now.
Right. Yeah, I kind of have to agree there. So, we were just chatting a second ago, but yeah, we got some actual Star Wars news today, which is like kind of big finally. So, I'll kind of bring it up here, but uh Star Wars undertakes universe-shaking changes after Ahsoka. So basically, this is something that I guess took place maybe a few months ago, but
Mhm.
Dave Filoni has been promoted to CCO or Chief Creative Officer of Lucasfilm, which basically means that he will be involved like much earlier in the actual process of like creating television series and movies, and he's actually going to have input from the get-go. So if there's a project that maybe wouldn't align with the rest of the Star Wars universe, he can essentially like veto it, just like
I'm glad
Kathy
for that
could.
one. Yeah.
Right. Like, so you hadn't heard about this. I mean, what are your like
No.
immediate thoughts?
I think it's great because then like we can cut out all the extra stuff that doesn't need to be there. We can focus on the stories that we actually want/need that fit our story, especially um, New Republic era. It'll be
Right.
perfect.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully less of Mendeling from Kathy, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely think like it kind of puts Kathy in the position of producer only,
Yeah,
which is a good thing. And he'll be able to take on a lot of the more creative, um, I don't know, just the whole creative direction of Star Wars. We already know that he's the only person there basically who's worked with George
yeah,
on actual creative decisions, like and stuff with the Clone Wars. So
and
um
yeah,
I think it makes sense.
and I'm also glad too because then it's making Kathy take like a step back, where Dave has more control over Star Wars and what gets influenced into it over Kathy. Like you said, she can focus back on producing.
Yeah, and we know she's a great producer. I'm not gonna like knock her for that. Like, I mean, she produced like Jurassic Park and Back to the Future. So, like those are iconic films. Um,
I just want to say we just got a comment from Tony Cat. Um, Dave will have too much to do now. He cannot direct and do this. I get what he means, but James Gunn is doing the exact same thing with DC. If so, even more, because he's now the CEO along with Peter Safran. So Gunn writing and
right.
directing Superman Legacy as well. I think if you do it right, you can have enough balance. And I know Dave will definitely have the balance that he needs. He will let himself have the balance.
Yeah, I'm actually not concerned about Dave's ability to direct here. They actually mention in this article like his movie's still happening, and they mention a possible Ahsoka season 2. So
It's good.
there's definitely yeah, I think we're gonna get Ahsoka season 2. I don't think Dave's gonna step away from directing. I just think that the overall here's been the problem, at least I think, since like Disney took over, is that there's been a lot of inconsistency in the way the stories are told. We
Yeah.
already saw it just with the sequels alone, like how The Force Awakens like doesn't really line up with The Last Jedi and and The Rise of Skywalker and so on. So now this will give Dave the ability to say, okay, well, where's this story headed and how does it like work into our overall plan,
Yeah.
which I think makes sense.
Well, and two, it'll kind of like almost like keep everything together because I mean, we won't have stuff where we're like Kenobi and Boba coming out where it's not not being handled the best that it could have been. Now Dave can come
Hmm.
in and like put his foot down and change things if they're not being if they're not being produced to the fullest that he needs them to be. Like we won't be having mediocre Star Wars shows. Not saying that they're mediocre, but it'll feel more like Star Wars. It should feel more like Dave Filoni's Star
Well,
Wars.
yeah, I mean, you mentioned Kenobi. I think that's almost like a the prime example. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what
especially
I
the
mean.
way like
Example.
the Inquisitors were handled and stuff.
Yeah,
Like he created the Inquisitors. Like if he had input on that stuff, I think we would have been a little bit better off
I gotta
than we
say,
ultimately were. So
the Grand Inquisitor definitely would have been CGI, at least for part of the head. I feel like it would have looked a lot better too.
yeah, yeah. I think I mean, did you know the what is his species called? The Grand
The
Inquisitor.
Powens.
The Pounds. Yeah, they weren't CGI in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it was
Like, that
like a
was
head cap.
all prosthetic. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
That's what they
assuming. I'm
should have
assuming
done for Kenobi.
like, and that's why that's what I'm assuming they would do. Um, I don't know. I kind of want them also to step away from the volume as much. Like same thing with Marvel especially. Like I could full on tell
Yeah.
now after watching Loki, I can full on tell now when it's real and when it's the volume because like Loki had all full 360-degree sets. It was like a
Mhm.
full set, no volume. I mean, there probably was volume shots, but everything for the TVA, amazing. And I could tell now going and seeing the Marvels, I'm like, oh, that's on volume. Like
Yeah.
it's just I can tell, and I want to go back to just practical. Practical always looks better on camera.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, especially for Dave's movie, they should really step away from the
Yeah,
volume as much as possible. The volume is great for some stuff, and I think the best example I've ever seen of it is, the Book of Boba Fett episode 5, I wanna say, the Mando episode,
yeah,
where he's on that ring world.
yeah.
Those are
Perfect.
all volume shots, which is wild because they
Yeah,
built a
it looked
set
amazing.
in the like within the volume, and they
Yeah,
used the volume for like the space outside and the continuation of this ring. So that looked incredible. If
yeah.
for
That was
stuff like that,
flawless.
yeah, for stuff like that, it's perfect. But if it's like an exterior shot, you can't replicate the sun indoors, no
Yeah,
matter what you try to do.
if it's in the desert, go out to the desert. I
Right,
mean, like
right.
go out to Jordan. Like, come on. It's I don't know. I just it's yeah.
Yeah, I know. Let's see here. He'll probably do his movie, and if it goes to additional episodes, Dave will have to task that off, similar to what George did for the OT.
But same thing. But George tried to do the same thing with the prequels, but he still wrote and directed it all. He had help with producers and stuff, but that was really it. It wasn't
Yeah,
what other people were directing his movies. Like it wasn't the OT because George didn't direct any of them. Like, he was there like helping direct, but he wasn't the sole director.
right, right. I think, I don't know, yeah, I think Dave can do it. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
like I have faith, you know. I don't know. Pablo Doggle now reports to Dave. Yes,
Yes.
yes, that is a good thing. That is a
Yeah.
very good thing. He needs to be checked.
He needs to get his
Uh,
Twitter account fucking locked.
yeah, he needs to be he needs to be put in check for sure. That guy, ugh, man,
Fucking
not
Pablo.
not what we want, not what we want at all. So, but yeah, so that was like the big news today. I mean, I think now that the strikes are over, we're going to start hearing more about, things continuing in Star Wars, production of these movies or development of the movies. Skeleton Crew trailer, hopefully, Bad Batch, maybe Tales of the
Acolyte.
Jedi. Acolyte will be coming, I believe, next year.
Yeah,
I
isn't it
think
like a
there's a lot of
June
stuff around the
timeframe?
corner. You know what it sounds like. So based on what I'm hearing, and this is all just rumors. So let me just pull this up real quick. Darth Hansel, LOL, Pablo. Yeah, oof, that guy, man.
Man's a
We all,
freak.
yeah, that's that's just someone. If he just walked away from Lucasfilm tomorrow, I think we might all celebrate a little bit.
I mean, if budget cuts need to be made, budget cuts need to be made. That's
Hey, that's right. That's right.
I don't know.
We'll see. Just gonna leave that up there. But, okay. So what I understand is happening is we're probably gonna get an animated show around January. So that would probably be Bad Batch
Yeah.
or Tales of Jedi. And then it sounds like Skeleton Crew was originally supposed to be in that slot, and that's been pushed now. So we're probably spring for that, like April, May.
Yeah, I could see him doing like
Which
a August for probably Acolyte.
right, then I would think
Sith August.
fall
Yeah.
for Acolyte. Yeah, so maybe August, September, um, and it's gonna run for
Yeah.
hey, we don't even know how many episodes Acolyte is. I mean, we know Skeleton Crew's 8, but we don't know if Acolyte
I
could
mean,
be 10, 12. Like
I'm hoping for 10, but it's probably gonna be 8. It might even be 6.
if it's 6, get out of here.
I mean, I'm just trying to keep, um,
Expectations in check?
yeah. Yeah, because I mean, we could get an Andor of 12, or we can get a Kenobi or Book of Boba Fett of. I mean, I think Boba was 7, right? Or
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett was 7. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they cut one episode. Yeah, so it's supposed to be 8.
Yeah, but the last episode was like 55 minutes, so it was a
I mean,
long
give me an
one.
hour and a
But
half. Stranger Things can do it. Leave me alone. I don't know.
Stranger Things can do like a 2-hour episode and it still be
2.5 hour.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
That starts filming
I
next
don't
week
know.
too.
I know they're coming back finally. Dude,
Yeah.
those kids are getting old. Wait, on the subject of Pablo, like what does he do now for Lucasfilm? Like, can someone tell me what
that's a great
Pablo
question.
does that's like actually contributing to Lucasfilm? I know he's part of this story group, but I don't think no one let's put it this way, Favreau and Filoni aren't coming to Pablo for help. Not a chance.
He's frequently named one of the people tasked with maintaining the canon of the franchise after its partial reboot.
Well, he's doing a horrible job of it because Filoni just retcons whatever he wants out of the books, and he's just like,
Yeah, he's like, no, this is
yeah.
my own canon now. Thank you very much. It's just like, so
Darth,
that's not
Darth
going to be
Ansel says
happening.
he just publicly mocks Star
Yeah,
Wars
that's true.
theory. That's true. He's like made a whole like name out of himself by like just
Yeah,
mocking people who don't like the sequels, which
anytime I hear
is
anything about Pablo,
ridiculous.
I'm like, oh, he's going after theory again. Well, here we go.
Yeah. What a joke, man. Whatever. Disney doesn't want to fire KK, but they can pull her responsibilities to others. Eventually, she'll leave on her own accord. Iger has no guts.
I mean, Iger's still the
I
same
agree.
idiot who said the stuff about when the actors were on strike. What about like the money stuff when he was making like 26 million a year or off his
Oh,
like
sure.
just off of his like bonuses.
Well, he's living in a whole different world. I mean,
Yeah.
he just completely oblivious to what's really happening out there. But
Remember Ron Perlman from Hellboy was like threatening to go kick his ass on Twitter.
that's
He'd say that
funny.
like I know you people know where you live.
Well, I definitely have to agree here, though, that with Tony, that Disney doesn't want to fire
Yeah,
KK. I don't. It's first of all, there's a shitstorm of like a story because she's like the only female, I think, studio head like they have at Disney.
but
So
if
that's not
she's
the only issue. I mean, she hasn't. I mean, Indiana Jones lost at least 100 or $200 million, and
I thought it
Solo
was close to
lost
3.
good. It might be close to 3. I'm
And
saying at least.
yeah,
Like,
and that's the thing too. If she keeps making the company lose money, they're gonna get rid of her. They can't keep someone around
yeah,
that keeps
eventually you
costing
can't
them.
keep her around, right? But I think her, like I said, her legacy is enough for them to be like, nah, like she knows what she's doing on the producer side. It's not
Yeah,
that she doesn't know what she's doing on the producer side, but that's why maybe Dave is getting shifted these extra responsibilities to be like, look, you're the heir to George's empire, and we need you to consult us on the entire story going forward. You need to make Star Wars right.
well, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy is 70 years old. I'm hoping within the next 10 years, Dave has been put into her spot. I mean, because then I don't know. I
I
I
just
feel like
don't know, like,
Kathy
if
needs to.
he's I just don't know if Dave has, like, what it takes to run the studio. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like, I think that'd almost be someone like Favreau, and
well, I was gonna
Dave's more
say,
of a creative.
do what James Gunn and Peter Safran are doing.
Oh,
They're
yeah, I mean, the
both twin
DC thing,
CEOs. Do that. Give it Dave and John a 4-year contract. Let them do a trial run for 4 years.
we really gotta see, though, I think, how, um, how it's gonna go with DC, 'cause we know what James Gunn's trying to put into motion with
Yeah,
the Superman legacy and all that stuff, but we just don't we haven't seen any of it yet. So, I think see how it works, and maybe that is, like, the move. Maybe Favreau and Filoni are, like, these co-CEOs that just, like, run Lucasfilm.
I've been saying it for a while.
I
I
mean,
said
imagine it.
on Star Wars Sith podcast, like they're like Jesse Pinkman and Waltman. Sorry, and Walt from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Like
They're
they
just,
are
like, cook it up,
Walter
man. They're
White
cooking it
and
up.
Jesse Pinkman. That's what they are like.
I love it.
Yeah,
Darth Ansel says, I think she's also lost a lot of the normies for Star Wars. I agree. It seems like nobody besides like the diehards kind of cares anymore. And I think that's also really in like the ratings, like what we're seeing. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's yeah.
It's yeah, I
Ahsoka's
mean,
ratings sucked. I thought
I
they were
mean,
gonna
they
be a lot
did.
better.
I honestly thought they would be really good, and especially with Hayden coming back and
Yeah,
actually
no,
having
especially
a
with
good
that. Yeah.
role. I mean, Hayden in Ahsoka was 10 times better than what we got in Kenobi,
Oh,
and
1,000%.
yet Kenobi got way higher ratings. So I think that what has happened over the past, yeah, I guess since 2015, or I'd say 2017. 2015, 2016, Star Wars was flying. I mean, Force
Yeah.
Awakens, Rogue One were hits. They were absolute
The,
knocked out of the park.
that was the first time I got to see a Star Wars movie in theaters, and I was,
Wow.
back a lot of terms, shitting my pants. So
Yeah.
like, it's insane.
Yeah. But 2017, after Last Jedi, Solo, and I like Solo, but it just didn't perform the way it
Yeah.
needed to. And I think a lot of that was to do with The Last Jedi. But that, and then just, how everything kind of went off from there. We got a little bit of a bump from Mandalorian season 1 and 2, but I just think, yeah, they've lost the normal, like the normies, I guess if you want to call them, just
Uh,
people who casually watch Star Wars. They don't care anymore because it's gotten so off the rails.
That's what I gotta say. They went off the peak of Mando season two's finale. Mando season 3 should have been even better than Mando season 2 and
Yeah,
1 for them to keep that audience around, and they
right.
did not deliver.
Yeah, no show at all has matched Mando season two's numbers yet. And
No,
we've
not even
had
close.
and we've had Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, Andor, Mando season 3, and Ahsoka since then. So we've had
Not
5 opportunities to
even
beat
more.
Mando season 2. Well, what are you
Bad
gonna
Batch, Tales,
include?
Visions. There's that
Well,
too.
yeah, you can include the animated stuff, but it's never gonna get the kind of viewership that a live action show is gonna get. So, I mean, clearly, I mean, the numbers are there. So, I mean,
I mean, and this could have gone a different way too. Kenobi could have been a movie.
oh
I
my god,
think
it
I
should have
think
been a
I
movie.
think Boba could have been a movie too. I think they would have fit a lot better as a movie.
Yeah, I would have loved to see a Boba movie, but maybe just not in the New Republic era. Like a Boba
Yeah.
movie where he was a bounty hunter during the Empire would have been crazy.
Want to take it one step further? Give us 1313, but in the movie form
Oh my
with
god.
Django.
Don't even get me started.
They want to start having you work on new trailers for other things now.
Yeah, right, right. Box office for Rise of Skywalker is less than half of TFA when things were all-time hype. Yep, yep. I mean, they cut the box office in half, which that has never happened in any Star Wars trilogy ever. So both the Revenge of the Sith and the Return of the Jedi made more than the middle movie in the trilogies, and the Rise of Skywalker made less than the Last Jedi, which is
And
the first thing that's ever happened.
I definitely think Rise's numbers are a big thing, like big due to the Last Jedi, like big failure when it comes to that is
Yeah,
mainly because of 8.
I think. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Hans says, "Hey, dudes. Hey."
What's going on, Hans?
And Darth Hansel says, I'd argue a lot were lost 2017,
Yeah,
2019. That's what I think you're saying, right? Like it was 8
yeah,
that really
but
drove the people away.
at the end of 19 when we got Mando season 1. Well, I guess it was 2020, right? Beginning of wasn't it
W-
like
We got Mando season 1 in 2019, November 2019. It
yeah,
was,
so I think
yeah,
Mando
it
was
was
when it
right
was started to kick back
before.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what technically happened. We got the Rise of Skywalker and Mando season 1 around the same time. And I think people are just like, ah, man, Rise of Skywalker is terrible, but hey, at least we got Mando,
Yeah, and
like this new show.
that's what I'm saying. With the audience dying between 2017 and 2019, Mando started reviving it. They should have
Yeah.
rode that wave out to bring them all back, but they didn't.
Yeah, the difficult thing is I actually think the pandemic played a big role in like
Yeah,
them not being able to bring it back, cuz I'm telling you when when Luke shows up at the end of Mando season 2, this is like the height of the pandemic, right? Like
yeah,
November 2020. I mean, things are like I mean, that's like an all-time high moment for Star Wars in general. If they could
yeah,
have rode that wave a lot quicker than they did, we had to wait a whole nother year and a half, basically a year and a few months just to see Book of Boba Fett, which wasn't even a continuation of Mando's story. At least we didn't think it was going to be.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Well, and the thing is too, like that symbol of hope is what we needed most. I think at that turn,
yeah,
certain time frame for us in general. I know for
it
me
was.
it
Oh
was
yeah, it was the
like
perfect time, like for every. I mean, we were seeing like a true like hero on screen
yeah,
again, which we hadn't had in a long time. It was. It
Yeah.
was awesome, man. Hans says, I tried getting into new canon books, but if it's not Timothy Zahn or Paul Kemp, I don't care. I agree. Dude, Zahn is the man. And even like reading some of the EU books, like the Legends books, some of the non like Zahn stuff or non like Stackpole stuff is just really
It's tough.
boring sometimes. Yeah, it's tough sometimes. Zahn has a way, man, with these characters. He understands it. The thing about Zahn that's really great is like he doesn't even have to understand the lore to say the degree that Dave does,
Yeah.
because he can create his own lore, which is so much so interesting anyway, that like people like Dave are willing to bring it into canon. Like that's how crazy of a writer he is. I mean, we're seeing it with Thrawn, obviously.
Yeah, and then the fact too that now we have two of those people, Dave and Zahn.
Right.
Those two working together, we're going to see some amazing Star Wars.
I really hope Zahn gets some input, some creative input.
I would hope so. Just like how like Dave has to have input on Ezra. I feel like Zahn,
Yeah.
being the one who created Thrawn, should have input on Thrawn. So they, like exactly like how Sam Witwer did with Solo, how he was consulted on like which lightsaber he should be having in his
Right.
canon.
Oh yeah. I just saw
Like
that clip. I think Diamond
yeah,
Figs posted that. Yeah.
yeah, that's where I
That
saw it.
was
Was
yeah,
weird.
yeah. That was cool, man.
Yeah,
All right. Checking in. Hype for the project. Oh, yeah, it's Luke Skywalker right here, guys. So excited
that's
to
right
bring
here.
these EU stories to life. You can feel the love for Star Wars universe with everyone involved. Let's go. Yeah, we'll talk about the project here pretty shortly. I want to move on to that, and
Yeah, me too.
because we got a few things to talk about there. Shadow of the Sith was okay. I didn't really get into it, honestly. I
I mean, so was
tried.
Son of Dathomir. It doesn't always have to be Zahn, but it still has to be good. Like Son of Dathomir, the it wasn't bad.
Yeah, right.
Plagueis
There's
book.
Oh, the Plagueis book, yeah, there's good
Yeah,
stuff out there. It's just like I'm saying, yeah, I don't know.
but
Shadow of the Sith
yeah,
is Shadow of the Sith is the canon like Luke Skywalker sequel tie-in, and I mean it's fine. I'll agree it's
it's fine.
okay. I'll agree it's okay. Will this announcement change the minds of fans that left Star Wars and change the viewpoint of the haters, or will they always feel betrayed? Wow,
that's that's
that's
that's a deep one. I don't know.
that's a heavy question.
Yeah, it
God,
boils
I
down to
mean,
every single person.
I know, and like I'm even thinking like to myself, like I'm always gonna feel like 8 is a serious miss on the entire like story of Star Wars now. It Because it was such an important movie and because it missed so hard, I think it's impossible to come back from that
Yeah,
without some sort of major retcon. And like we've talked about, I mean, I'm a fan of bringing in Mara to fix that story, but I don't
yeah.
think they're gonna
It
do
was
it.
easily like a royal fuck up, and they need to do something big to try and
Yeah.
almost like reconcile that and try to make it feasible for the fans to understand. Because, like you said, if they don't do Mara, I don't know how I would ever be okay with siding with it. Okay, it's all right. I can accept it. I don't know how I'd be able to do that with
Right?
Mara.
That's how I am.
So
I'm like, I don't know how I can ever accept Luke like being who he becomes. It's
yeah,
just wild to
Jake
me.
Skywalker.
Oof. I enjoyed Lords of the Sith, but it needed better focus. I don't know that one. Lords of the Sith. Do you know that one?
Mm, no, but it might ring a bell if I look at it.
Oh, okay. Well, he also says I haven't read Shadow of the Sith, so I can't say if it's good or
Oh,
bad.
I know what this is.
Um, well, you could try it. I'm not going to recommend it or not recommend it, honestly. If you like Luke Skywalker, it's worth a shot. But it is very much sequel Luke. It's there's like Exegol mentions and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I know what this is. It's he's pretty. Yeah, it's good, but definitely could use some work.
this Lords of the Sith. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll check it out. Okay, but
yeah.
not good or great. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I gave up halfway through Jedi Lost. It was terrible. Why is that ringing a bell? Is that one of
Dooku
the
Jedi
EU
Lost.
ones? Oh, that's the Dooku one. I'm like, why do I even know what that is? That's canon, right? Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
canon book.
I mean, and they kind of did part of it with Tails. So
Yeah, I'd rather get it in a visual medium anyway. I like
yeah,
Tales. Tales is awesome.
Tails should be the longest running Star Wars show.
Dude, Tales, if they just came out with like a Tales every like 6 months that was
Dude,
just
literally,
new.
that's like, dude, and you can run that for years. Like
Oh, right.
you
I
can
mean,
literally do it Family Guy is like level.
it's
There's
just
so
so
many
many
stories.
awesome like little
Yeah,
stories there. On the positive side, EU lovers are probably feeling very good today. Dave has been slowly reintroducing it back on his own.
yeah. Dave's
Yeah,
Dave's pulling the strings.
we're still hoping and praying, man, for Mara. Haven't read Shaz says, oh yeah, we already did that one. The Cal Kestis canon book is the worst book I've read, period. I've heard it's bad.
I haven't read it, but I haven't really wanted to read it either.
I haven't read it either. I've heard it's bad. Yeah.
Well, okay,
So
so Rise of the Red Blade, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of. It took a while to get there for me, but it was really cool lore wise with everything with how Palpatine was manipulating all the other Jedi, just like Anakin. There were some really
oh
cool
yeah,
things
yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
I remember you telling me about that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
but it just took a bit to get there. So make sure my books don't fall down.
Han says I've made decent progress through the old EU. Yeah, where are you at? And what's your favorite era? Do you like Old Republic, Empire, or New Republic, New Jedi Order? EU, the old EU is awesome. I think there's a lot of great stuff in there, but there's also bad, and that's why I'm fine with if they were going to animate this stuff to just pick and choose and do like a pretty very cohesive and concise timeline of Old Republic to New Jedi Order, because there's some bad stuff in EU, and we've talked about Dark
Yeah.
Empire, but oof, not a fan.
Speaking of like Old Republic and stuff, one of my wife and I's friends, we had a Friendsgiving, and she loves everything to do with Old Republic and like especially Bastilla, but she has an
Oh yeah,
entire
but
like
still is
armed
sick.
sleeve. She had like Malik Bastilla has a bunch of different Revan, a bunch of different ones all over an arm. Then she's doing like one arm light side, one arm dark side, and it's all Old Republic based. It looks really sick
That's
for
awesome. Yeah,
sleeves. So it was just reminding me of that too. There's
yeah. The
so much cool stuff with Old Republic.
the Old Republic is awesome, man. Bastilla and Revan. Obviously, I mean, oh,
Little Cotton
what a
Empire.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so much. Oh, dude, KOTOR is so sick. Bad is an understatement. I think he's talking about the Cal Kestis book.
Yeah.
I can't say, but I've heard. Clark, welcome to the chat. I want to see a Clone Wars series based on
I know what he's talking about.
what is that? How do you pronounce that?
Well, I don't know what the V is, but Magsog is it's a group in Vietnam. Like
Okay, they're like
in Black Ops, Frank Woods was part of the SOG team in Vietnam.
were they on the U.S. side or were they on the Rebel side?
A U.S. side, I believe.
Well, I guess the U.S. side was kind of yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I guess whichever way you look at it, but
Yeah, whichever way you look at it. I mean, I just know that like the whole obviously you've heard about how George like used Vietnam as like a template for the rebels
yeah,
like overthrowing the empire, which is kind of wild, but it takes
yeah.
place
I
on
mean,
the outer rim. We get Nam era rock and roll and Huttonese. I think I'm all for it. Speaking of that, if you Clark, if you're still here, if you have seen if you want a sick animated show that is like Vietnam-esque, but it's sci-fi, check out Gundam. Gundam is a massive anime series, obviously, but they have one called the MS-08 Team. It is all ground assault. It is very Vietnam-esque. It takes place in the jungle. It's freaking sick. You would love it. Just based on your comment, you would love it. You got to check it out. It's only like it's a mini series, so it's like 13 episodes or something like that. That's awesome. He says the lads makes me think of the Hueys. I love it.
yeah, they're so cool.
Should probably do a covers of them. See him, bro. I think he means he's seen the Gundam, and he says, "Oh, 83. That's Stardust Memory is his favorite. That Stardust Memory is probably the best looking anime I've seen. That is what we're striving for here in the project, guys. Go watch 0083 if you haven't. Missed them here. The Dark Times is currently where I'm at in terms of finishing everything previous, but I've read plenty after. New Jedi Order is my favorite. Um, I'm not even done with the New Jedi Order yet. I just finished another book. It was like book 4 or 5 of the NJO on Friday. And so I'm still working through it, and I love it so far. I love the dynamic between all like the new Jedi that Luke has under his, under his belt. I love seeing the Solo kids kind of get in the mix. It's fantastic. I think the Vong are awesome, awesome enemies. So really looking forward to finishing
Yeah,
it.
I
But it's a
really want to
long
see a live
series.
action and
Vong.
the Jedi Order. Yeah, with the Vong.
Yeah,
Like
I just don't want it to be only Rey's Jedi Order. I just want, you know what I mean? I want to see some of our classic Jedi in there.
I, even though it's controversial, I'd want to see Jason Solo getting killed, or not Jason, sorry, Anakin. Like
Anakin.
I'd want all of that in there. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that left out. I'd want, yeah, I'd want the full thing.
Oh, I'd want it all too. I mean, the thing about the NJO, like I'm still like reading them, but I know a lot of what happens already
Yeah.
because of, you just Wikipedia or whatever. But
Yeah, looking up stuff, researching for videos, even going through reading the books, I'm like, it's like, oh yeah,
right,
I
right.
remember
It's
this.
like, damn, like Anakin dies, and then later Jason dies. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
like
Jason kills
going.
Mara. It's like shit.
So when I was going through my video and talking about like how like I think like the Vaughn could be brought in with Thrawn, I was doing a bunch of research and I was like, oh yeah, like, I forgot that like Anakin is a big part of that.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's so much deep lore into it. It's so cool.
I I don't remember, was it you or was it someone else like in our chat who was saying if they ever say like, okay, there is a surviving Skywalker child, let's say Mara and Luke had a child or
Yeah.
whatever, that they should name him Anakin Skywalker. Was that
Mm,
you who said that?
that wasn't me.
Oh, someone mentioned
I
that.
wouldn't want them to do anything like Luke, Ben, Anakin. I wouldn't want them to do anything like that. I want it to be its own thing.
Yeah, but I just think that would like since they took the Ben Skywalker name and gave it to Ben Solo, like
I
that
mean,
would make
it'd be really
to
funny if
take
they
the
did. It'd be
Anakin
so
name
funny if
and
they did.
take like an Anakin Skywalker like legacy child would be sick. I don't know. I
Well,
think it
and
kind
they
of works,
also,
but like
I mean, they gave Ben Jason Solo's story pretty much, and they gave obviously Jason Syndulla. Now you can't really do like I don't know. I feel like
yeah.
I don't know. It just they'd have to rework some things around. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too, but it could work. I don't know. I'm open to it. Do you guys follow the Legends timeline and the back of the Legends books as your Legends canon, which would include all of George's movies and the Clone Wars? So, yes. If you guys haven't seen the Legends timeline that was published by Lucasfilm, this is what Darth Hansel's referring to. It's I'm a fan of headcanon and just kind of,
Yeah.
going with the way things are. Cause even in the Lucasfilm Legends timeline, the old one, it says like Dark Empire happens 1 year after the Thrawn trilogy, which I think is absurd. So there's obviously stuff I just am gonna skip over because I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that is the timeline of Legends.
Well, and too, like like you said about in the last episode we talked about like the cloning cylinders. There's little things I pick from like the new canon
Mhm.
with George's canon. Like okay, like Luke's clone would not be made in 30 days. It would be easily 10 years.
Right. Yeah, and
So
they wouldn't have sporadic cloning cylinders in Mount Tantus. They would have a
these
Camino
yeah.
like technology,
Well, and
basically. So
if we want to take it one step further to even like theory territory, because say okay, roughly, um, Empire was 10 years ago at this timeline part where we're at right now, currently with Dave's movie. It's possible with now it being 10 years that a clone could have been made, with it being 10 years later almost. So there's a possibility for it, but how are they going to adapt that?
yeah, that's a good point. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so
They
hard.
might just not. So,
I could
uh,
very well see them just skipping that part.
oh yeah, I mean, I could too. I think they probably will. What Clark is asking could be a good movie for Taika Waititi. I don't know.
I don't want Taika doing Star Wars, especially
I
with him
kind of
saying that
don't either.
saying it's going to piss
Yeah,
a lot of people off.
Yeah,
That's
it's the Ryan Johnson thing all over again. Like, oh,
yeah.
my movie's gonna piss people off. Like, then why make it? Like, why make it? Like, it's just like,
That's what I hated about like Thor: Love and Thunder. That should have been an amazing movie, especially
yeah.
with Gore the God Butcher, or but it wasn't.
No, he just
And
kind of
especially
makes
after
everyone a
Ragnarok too.
joke. Like, he
Yeah,
just makes everyone a joke. I like Ragnarok a lot. I think it's one of the
I
best
no,
Marvel
yeah,
films.
Ragnarok was
Yeah,
amazing, but
yeah,
going from Ragnarok to Love and Thunder, like
yeah.
I just saw like a video, like a clip of Taika who's like, yeah, I just added some goats in there, and that now James has to deal with them with the Guardians, like the space goats. He said at the
Right.
end that he was gonna put them in the Venator and have James just have to deal with it, or I
Yeah,
guess
like,
the Bowie now. But just there's like weird shit like that, and I was like, why like you're just inconveniencing other people, like there's just not a point. Just, I don't know.
which is the exact shit that Ryan did. Like,
Yeah,
Ryan's like, I just want to like tell my story and end my story. Okay, so there's a number 9 coming out, right? Like, do you care about that at all? Like,
yeah,
do you want that to
you gotta
exist?
follow the plan. You can't just like
Right.
if you want to make your story cool, but title it as Legends
Yeah.
or Expanded Universe
Taika
or
wants to piss people
Elseworlds.
off.
I mean,
Yeah. Elseworlds. That's one way to do it. Clark says just like Top Gun. I think he's talking about Stardust Memory, the Gundam show. Yeah. Oh, another one is Macross Plus. Dude, there's some. I like never really watched anime before, but um I've like started to get into some, and there's like the thing that's cool about anime is there's a lot of like they can do like great sci-fi
yeah,
for a low budget, and they do. There's not a lot of like big budget sci-fi movies coming out. We have like Dune, and we have the occasional Star Wars,
yeah.
and stuff like that. I mean, but it's
The creator,
expensive. So the creator, I saw the creator, I liked it a lot.
yeah.
I know some people think the story was kind of basic, but like the visuals were incredible for the
Rebel
budget.
Moon coming out. Like that's gonna be
Oh, Moon's coming out. Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna be
gonna be a
so
big
good.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. But it's just, we wait all year and maybe get 2 or 3,
I mean,
movies where
we
I'm
got
just
two
saying
Marvel
there's
movies
this
next year. Or no, sorry, we got one Marvel movie
one
released, and that's
Marvel
Deadpool
movie.
3 next year.
Yeah, which I wouldn't really put in the sci-fi category, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like we're
Just
gonna
saying,
get Dune next year.
we were to get so many little movies as is per year, depending with how things go. Like we got
Right.
to make sure those movies are bangers, and not a bunch of just fails. Look,
I
it's
know
like
that's what I'm saying, but yeah, I mean, I was just like basically saying, with anime or
yeah,
animated movies in general, you can there's just so many options, and there's a lot of
yeah.
cool stories out there. There's Gundam, there's Macross, there's Cowboy Bebop, there's
I was gonna say
whatever.
yeah. When I was younger, the three animes I watched was Full Metal Alchemist, Cowboy
Oh
Bebop,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
Trigun. And there's amazing stories in that, especially
yeah.
Cowboy
There
Bebop.
is. Oh
Like
yeah,
there's so many cool stories.
it's
I'm not
sick,
gonna
man. I
talk about
like.
live action, but
Well, I actually didn't hate it. I'm like, I'm gonna be
I
honest. I
didn't
didn't
hate it,
hate
but
it.
I
I
didn't
was
love it.
like, it was fine. I mean, I just,
I mean,
I understand why they canceled it. It was kind of a pointless show and probably very expensive, but
yeah,
yeah. FYI, we need to revamp the Rough Squadron. I think he means Rogue.
yeah, that's the thing.
Rogue
Rogue
Squadron
too.
project. It was like Top Gun and Star Wars. I know. That was when I was kind of like, that could be really sick, and
That's
especially because
why
Top Gun came out like a year later and was huge.
when Rogue Squadron was because it was the Patty Jenkins movie, right?
Yeah, that was Patty
Yeah,
Jenkins' movie.
I was excited when I heard about it until I heard Patty Jenkins because I had seen Wonder Woman 1984, and I was like, okay, I'm
Oof.
kind of worried now. So
Well, that's why the project basically got
yeah, got the axe.
axed.
Would you like to go to the uh
The
trailer
fan
news?
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We got 2 comments here. I'm gonna catch them up and then we're good. Rebel Moon is a big budget. Excited. Same.
Yeah. Can't wait.
And Rebel Stan and Rebel Dawn are my favorite. Luke and Mar tag team Yvonne. Wedge has some absolutely badass moments. Yeah, they I haven't gotten to those ones yet, but I am excited because love Luke and Mar action. And Wedge has been incredible, honestly, since the Thrawn trilogy. He's
Yeah.
been such a well-written character.
And I even like how they brought him into episodes in Rebels, like as a younger version of himself, as like a
Right,
kid.
right.
It showed that he was already doing these like tactics and stuff from a young
He
age.
was yeah, and he was already going rogue a little bit, like being a rebel.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool to see him in the academy and Rebels. All right, what was I gonna share with you guys here? So let's talk about. I know you had a couple items that you wanted to
Yeah.
discuss about the fan film, so I'm gonna let you kind of kick it off. And yeah, so why don't you tell us what's kind of going on? And do you want to share anything on your screen? Do you want me to share like the Discord or anything?
Um, if you'd like to, you can. I don't have anything really to show for it. I mean, you could show the like interested in joining chat. If you wanted to. But so we have characters that need to be voiced. I'm voicing
Mhm.
one of them. I don't know if Joe is. I haven't heard anything, so I don't know if you are or not. I'm
I'm
assuming you're
probably not going
not
to
going to.
actually. It may be like a pilot or something, I'm not gonna get
Yeah.
too I got getting my
Um,
hands dirty too much. So
but we have a list of characters that we still need voiced, and I know between both of us, there's a good amount of audience, and we want the fans to be very involved. So with that, uh, if you ever want to voice act or just dip your toes in it, it's kind of what I'm doing. We have some people available. I'm just gonna list the names of characters that we have. Luke Skywalker's already taken, but we have Captain Pelion, Han Solo, Leia Organa, C-3PO, Emperor Palpatine, but it's only one line, and it's something that Mara will hear constantly over and over again, which will be, "You will kill Luke Skywalker." And then,
yep.
like Joe said, X-wing pilots. We're gonna need a couple of those, along with Admiral Akbar. I'm really excited to see who gets that one because that's gonna be funny. Mon Mothma as well as Kabarak. I'm probably not fully pronouncing that right.
Yeah, no Kabarak.
Yeah,
He's the Nogri. So um the most important ones we need right now though are gonna be we do need a Pelion, like
yeah.
I mean
I'm
ASAP.
just yeah.
And I think Han was the other one I said we need
Yeah,
probably pretty quickly.
Pelion and Han, especially. Um, I mean,
Um, yeah, we're gonna because so kind of next steps, guys. I am right now. I'm kind of working on outlining. We're gonna do a trailer for Dark Force Rising, and I'm kind of working on outlining that trailer as I'm also trying to render like an intro scene for like the initial scroll and everything for Heir to the Empire. So I'm kind of doing two things at once here, um, which isn't a big deal. Whoops. Um, Let me pull some shit up here. So I am kind of working on two things at once, but this is animating is a very slow process, especially when there's like limited people involved. And for that reason, I'm trying to move things along the best I can right now. So there's a Dark Force Rising logo right there. Boom. That is the logo. That is the next thing we're doing is a trailer for Dark Force Rising. In the meantime, though, what I'm doing is trying to work on the Heir to the Empire project as a whole. If I can slowly work on that and it takes time, um, then great. But let's get three trailers out. Let's get Dark Force
yeah,
Rising out. Let's get Last Command out. We're gonna have everyone's gonna play a little bit of a role. I know in the Dark Force Rising trailer, we're gonna have a you Talon card. We're gonna have some Thrawn
yeah.
lines, and hopefully, maybe a Cabrak line about Lady Vader. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
at the end that would be definitely something to have at the end, like a little like.
yep.
Also, too, I mean, depending on how everything goes with the three trailers, we can also do like a pool. See, I mean, obviously, I know Heir to the Empire and Last Command are going to be like probably maybe even neck and neck, probably Heir to the Empire more. But with that too, I got Blender, so I'm gonna start trying to learn how to do some stuff of my own too. If need help in the future as well,
That'd
because
be sick.
we
I mean,
are still looking for 3D and 2D artists that are willing to do that.
yeah, that's the toughest part, really. I will say, Ben, who has been, trying to kind of look at the art style that we used previously, um, drafted this up, which is incredible. It's really, really, pretty much on the nose. I mean,
Yeah,
we can compare the two here. Um, oh, there's our Mara, and there's his. So, I think he's doing a great job. Anything you guys can do to,
yeah,
to help out in that department is going to be fantastic. Still working on getting backgrounds together and stuff for the trailers. That's what we're going to do next, obviously.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Blender is what I'm using to do a lot of the battle scenes, and that's why I put this one together. This is just a test of X wings we are really going for the old like Macross style animation. So
Yeah,
like,
and when I saw this in Discord, instantly I thought of the Clone Wars 2D animated show, and I was like,
yeah,
all right, I'm in.
yeah.
Like, and that was all hand drawn too, for
Oh,
what
I
like at
know.
least a lot of it
So
for the
it
Coruscant scenes.
right, right. So if we can replicate something like that using Blender, I want to do as much as I
Yeah,
can there because it's just going to be faster. But the characters, I want to keep them all to the traditional 2D. I mean, the
yeah,
2D has a look and feel to it like nothing else does. I mean,
especially that, yeah, like especially with portraying like Thrawn like that. That's
yeah.
spot on.
So I was actually in the Dark Force Rising comic the other day taking some screenshots of stuff. Because I'm trying to outline
Yeah,
this trailer
almost like
and the
storyboard it.
yeah, I am, and I use the comics to do it. That's how I did it with
Yeah,
the Heir to the Empire one, and I'll do it again for Dark Force Rising. So I'd like to have a solid mock-up done in the next week or two. It's a busy week, obviously, with Thanksgiving and
yeah,
everything. So excuse me. So I'd like to have that. And then the nice thing about that is once we get that done, the mock-up of the trailer, then we can start having the voice actors get their recordings done and the music start to get put together. Then we know kind of how to pace things.
yeah.
Um,
And with
so
everything too, for all the characters I listed off, I will be making a little ticket section in the Discord. I'll put the link in the chat as well. And there you can go ahead and make a ticket, and it'll go to just myself and Joe, and you'll be able to like tell us like a little bit about yourself, which character you're looking for, and we could probably give you a few lines or a line at least of dialogue to try and shoot your shot with.
absolutely love it. Um, we have a couple. Are you able to click on the questions and get those rolling?
Uh,
I
am I
don't
am I
know
able
if
to?
like, yeah, are you able to? I just don't know if it's like an only me thing because I
I
started
don't
the
know how to do it. Honestly, I haven't.
you just click on them on the right. It says show when you click on it.
Yeah,
You might not
I
have that
don't have
option.
that for me at all.
Damn. All right. That's all right. We'll move on.
Yeah,
I
sorry, I don't
teach
have
and I
that.
share the trailer with my class. Good stuff. Oh, thanks for sharing it. Yeah. Any way to share it is gonna. God damn. Got a cough over here. No, appreciate that. Appreciate any sharing you guys can do. It's a trap. I do a good Bane impression. Well, we don't need Bane.
But I will say too, though, it's
Love it
not going to
though.
be the 1-to-1 scale like a Fair Dead Empire. Like some different creative liberties are going to be taken with certain characters and things. So don't
Yes, yes,
expect it
yes,
to
yes.
be 1-to-1. There's going to be new renditions of characters and new um, takes on characters.
Yeah,
So
and it honestly would be nearly impossible to do one to one anyway, just because it would be extremely long. And
yeah,
this way we can actually um make it less long, which helps. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. The guy who played President Snow from Hunger Games should
oh
have
my god, yeah,
played Pelion.
that would,
Uh, that would have
yeah.
worked pretty damn well. I mean, he would have been like a good New Jedi Order era Pelion, like a little older.
You know what I'd even think too. If Snoke was a person, I mean that might be a little on the nose, President Snow and Snoke, but I mean I could totally see him being like an older Count Dooku.
Yeah, he could have played a lot of stuff actually. I kind of like that guy. But I no, the Pelion they got is actually super
Yeah, yeah,
solid, right? Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. No, Xander Berkeley. I don't even see Gregory from The Walking Dead, and that's so hard because anything he's in, I'm like, oh, it's Gregory. But when he showed up
Right.
as Pillion, I'm like, oh, like damn, like they really got Pillion.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan. It's Xander Berkeley. I forgot his
Yeah,
name. But yeah, he's a perfect casting. I love it. So
even down to the voice too.
yeah. Oh my
Like,
gosh. I mean, it sounds like the audiobooks, it's like it's perfect.
I mean,
So
I'd say our Thrawn is too. Like our
Arthron,
Thrawn
if you
is
guys
amazing.
if you guys haven't heard Arthron, get in the Discord and check him out.
Are we
I
able to play it on
mean,
here?
I don't know if it'll play. I was just thinking that, but holy shit, man. Uh
Our Luke Skywalker is really good too. Like
Where
literally
our
sounds like a
Luke and
young Luke.
our Luke and our
Yeah.
Thrawn, Sebastian, man, he's just I don't think I can get it to play on here, but I hear it. I'm assuming you don't.
Yeah, I don't hear it at
Yeah.
all.
Oh.
uh,
All right, just go in the Discord, guys. The Discord link's on my community page on YouTube. So get
it's
in
also
there.
in the chat on my channel, and I'll go ahead and put it in here as well.
Perfect. Yeah, put it in the chat. Donald Sutherland. Is that the President Snow guy?
Yeah, yeah. Kiefer Sutherland's dad.
Oh wow, I did not know. That is a
Yeah,
piece of trivia I did not know. Wow. Speaking of the Hunger Games, I actually just saw the new one the other day. It's not bad. I kind of liked it.
not bad.
No, I kind of liked it. I mean, it's
So
not as good
I
as the first two, but
are there a
it's
lot of snakes
solid.
in it? I just gotta say, like snakes and grizzly
Yeah.
bears are two things that I'm like definitely terrified of. So I'm like snakes. I'm not seeing it. Sorry.
Then yeah, probably stay away if I
I
was
saw the
you.
cocaine bear trailer and I nearly had a panic attack. So
Oh
like
my gosh.
I'm good.
Yeah, I would if I were you, then I'd probably just stay away.
Yeah. I tried watching
For your own good.
what was it? It was like The Rock and Emily Blunt. It was something Jungle Cruise. And
Oh yeah,
even though it was
I like
really
the
bad
movie.
CGI, I was like, these snakes are gotta do it for me. I gotta go. I'm not gonna be able to do
I like Jungle Cruise. It's a fun movie.
it.
It's not great. It's not bad. I've seen worse.
Definitely.
I've seen better.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where do we want this one?
But let's see here. What voices do you need the most for the FDR trailer? Or sorry, DFR trailer? Pelion, probably Han Solo, as well as uh Cabrak. Right?
Right. We need Pelion, Solo, Cabrak. I would also say, we could do Lando
Mando.
um instead of Han, if whatever comes first, because I can give the line to either of them. I have a shot.
Mando.
I have a kind of a shot uh in my mind here where it's both of them standing together.
Do
So it's kind
you
of a yeah.
how important it would be Mon Mothma for this one?
Mom Mothma is a later on kind of
Later
thing,
on.
so we don't need her right away. Although
My own Han says my own voice scares me, so I'm out. Fair.
uh,
Uh, Hans also says that looks killer. You guys have done an amazing job. It's been all Joe. All credit goes to him. Definitely does look amazing though.
I had a lot of help. On the original trailer, I had a lot of help.
Can you still get
What's
the
the
Thrawn
next?
trilogy comics? I believe so. There's definitely things online. I know Joe sent me one beforehand. But they're kind of hard to get through the whole entire thing without ads popping up and other stuff.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to go to the website's called Zip Comic. So if you just Google, Heir to the Empire Zip Comic, you'll get there's a lot of shitty ads and stuff like that on it. But yeah, it's a way to at least check them out and get them. I personally got all of them, the paperback graphic novels, which are the comics basically put into a single book. I got all those from Amazon. So they're not
See,
cheap, I'll say that much, but
yeah, and I have the 3 book collection from Barnes and Noble, but it's not graphic novel; it's straight book. So
yeah, and they
I gotta get
still
my
sell
hands on it.
those.
Yeah,
They still sell those like new. So,
yeah, because it was
um,
$50 for the entire thing, still in the package and everything. I do definitely though, definitely need to get a book like yours, like you said, and have them all together. Clark
yeah, I
also
love
says
the comics. They're sick.
it gives a new way of imagining. At
Right,
least I
right.
feel like anyway. Clark said, "I used to be a logger and I talk on talk on the radio a bunch. I could do uh, X-wing pilot voices."
Why not? Why not?
Go ahead and
I'm
join
all
the
for it.
Discord.
Yeah, that's right. Join the Discord, and we're gonna need pilots, especially for this opening scene that I'm doing.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm just trying to get the warp animation in for all these X-wings right now, because right now we are. Let me save real quick. Dude, with Blender, man, always save. Holy shit, this thing
when I used to
crashes
use
like nonstop.
I used to use Cinema 4D for stuff, and it was horrid with crashing.
I believe it. Cinema 4D's taxing program.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Impressive though if you learned how to use it for
I
sure.
didn't.
I'm literally gonna
I
sneeze. I just holy shit. Maybe not. I don't even know where the mute button is in this thing. Oh, I found it.
Good one.
Oh yeah, there. That's a good save. Dude, I dislocated my freaking finger the other day playing
Oh,
basketball,
what the hell?
and it's like, so does that like look super swollen? It like
Yeah,
it
looks
feels
a little
very
messed up.
swollen.
Jolie shooting hoops.
I was playing basketball and I jammed it against the freaking ball and dislocated my finger, and it's been like very impossible to click with a mouse. So I'm like using my middle finger to do this right now. But
Gotta get a splint. Little finger, the blue like foam finger thing.
well, I didn't know if it was broken, but I guess it's not. So I think we're safe. It's
You can
okay.
always do the popsicle stick with the tape too.
Right? The old school
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, I need to see where the animation falls in this one. So that starts at 85. Cool, cool, cool. All right.
Han says,
Now,
I'm a weird eccentric nerd who just happens to be a gym rat. Ironically, I can do voices, but I get sidetracked by wacky adventures. I I wish I could like stay consistent with the gym, but I can't. Clark says, can my pilot's helmet look sort of like the Mavericks?" I don't. I
look,
mean,
I love the idea. Let me tell you that much. But the more the more detail we have to add to this, the longer everything's gonna take. So that's but hey, we'll do what we can. I'll say that much. All right, let's get this warp animation done. Oh shit, we're spinning. This is on 85.
I mean, I was just thinking like I mean, I don't know how much it would cost, obviously, because that's a big thing too. Um, what you call it? But Michael Madsen. Um, he's been in a lot of stuff. Kill Bill, Donnie Brasco. Um, he was in the Bat and the Sons Batman fan film, short film.
Hmm.
So I mean, because I was joking earlier about getting like Carl Weathers to be Lando, or even getting like
but it
really
but it would
like
work.
I would be so funny as like a joke to get Carl Weathers to do it.
Oh
Um,
my gosh. Yeah, if I had
but
that
I
kind of
feel
pull,
like,
man, I'd be all for it. Why not?
like I don't know. I just feel like it would be so much the money to pay for that. I mean,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, hey, if we
even to get Billy D to do it, that'd be like that's the entire like that's yeah. It'd be so cool though to have like Carl Weathers just come in and like be Grief Karga though. Like
oh my gosh. Yeah. I
Orlando.
the crazy part is I think I heard once that I think James Earl Jones was only paid like 3 grand to do the original
Yeah, it
Star
was
Wars.
5 grand for their I think the first movie, and he wasn't even listed in the credits.
So wild, man. I mean,
Did you see the
imagine,
stuff that
yeah,
David
like
Prowse said about James Earl Jones and the voice?
no, what do you
Dude,
say?
David Prowse was on one when he was talking about how like he didn't get to voice him, and that they could definitely tell that they wanted to have someone of color voice him, but he doesn't say of color. He
Oh Jesus.
yeah, it's
I'm
I watched
sorry,
that.
but
I'm like,
like,
damn, like how'd you like? I don't even know how he got away with it back then, saying what he said. Let alone
dude,
like, I was like, because I was like, holy shit, he was
I'm
not
sorry,
holding
but like
back.
David Prowse's voice, I don't know if you've heard him, but he's
Yeah.
like he's like an old like Scottish dude. Like
It
he
makes me think of Spaceballs.
literally it would have been a joke if
Yeah.
he voiced him. Get out of here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
Hunt says, I
that
want to write a fan fiction Django Fett novel. That would be sick.
do it.
We need more Django stories.
Do it. Just do it. A Django, like, I mean, what are you thinking, like era wise? Like Django the Bounty Hunter, like pre Clone Wars, obviously.
I want to see
Um,
Django really going through
pre
the whole cloning process, like how all that went through.
Yeah, like the
Like
Camino
in depth.
story would
Yeah.
be really sick. How's this look here? Boom, boom, boom. We got the X-Wings pulling up. That's pretty good.
I say when you played it the first time, when everything jumped in, it like looked amazing.
Yeah, we'll go to the real view here. Oh, I gotta rewind. Da, da, da. Oh yeah, we
That
got
looks so sick.
X-Wings. We got X-Wings and we got TIE fighters. I did render, I think, the TIE fighter thing too. But just to see like what it was going to look like, because this, I mean, what I'm showing you right now is like that's a very low res, render, extremely low res, just so it
Yeah.
can run on this computer. But I did render it like fully out just to see what it was going to look like. But there's like a static X-wing here; it's not moving. But that's obviously
It
the
still looks so cool though.
like you can see the detail in the X-wing
Yeah,
here. It's like a
it
lot
really makes me
different.
think of that fan film that you sent me. Way back. Like
The TIE Fighter fan
yeah.
film, that is the greatest fan film that ever
Yeah, it's
existed.
so sick. Clark
Yeah.
also says I also do a decent Palpatine.
Oh, well then let's hear that one. I mean, because we got the
I
one
say
line,
because yeah,
which I'm saving. I am saving that for the last command trailer.
that yeah, it would be
So,
sick. Like a drop at the end.
oh, I want to drop it right in the beginning.
Oh,
I
right at
want
the
it
beginning, you want
like
to
I
just hit it
would.
hard.
The way I
That's
see it is
that's what she
like
said.
it's like comes it comes in
Sorry.
from black, and you just hear like the "You will kill Luke Skywalker," and it's like Mara tossing and turning,
Skywalker. Yeah.
and because she is actually technically like imprisoned at the New Republic at the beginning of the Last Command.
Yeah.
She's not like in prison. Obviously, they're gonna like they're treating her
She's being
very well,
held.
but
Let's just
she is being
yeah.
held captive. So that would be the perfect time because it in the comics it does kind of start with her being there and she's having like that waking nightmare. So yeah, I think that would be an awesome way to open up the trailer.
I feel like you gotta have the cackle though.
Like at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Throw
gotta
that at the
have
very
yeah,
end.
you
Yeah.
gotta have like the Palpatine like crackle or cackle, I should
Yeah.
say.
That'd be sick.
Hans says I wrote a Boba Fett novel called Mandalorian Rising on Deviant Art.
Oh, sick. I would check that out.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
you
writing my
like
notebook.
German 7 clone is my username. Okay. Right on. Right on. Dude, that's a lot of like dedication and shit, man. I myself try to write from time to time and it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of thought. But I think that's freaking awesome. I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, you and me both, and yeah, it's takes a lot of not only time but mental mapping out everything wants to like how you want to fit everything. Like every single day, like I for a while I carried this little small notebook in my back pocket at work. I'd always get my best thoughts at work, my best things at work, and I just write it down real quick because I'd forget about it. And it's always just like random things that come to me at work,
Yeah. It's like
little
the way you
tweaking
have to
things.
do it
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. You gotta always be keeping that stuff at the front of your mind if you, and when they come, when the ideas come to you, you gotta get them down or else you'll lose them. I get that, man.
yeah,
I work's one of those places where like your mind can drift, a little bit.
yeah. Well, in my like currently before I start my 8 weeks of training on my new place,
Yeah,
like I feel like I'm just hanging out with my friends, so we're just like chilling, and it's just like all right, like
that's nice. You got
I have
like a
time to just yeah. I mean, my boss and I go golfing every weekend, or have up until when it got cold out. So like,
you're just
I
like
don't know.
chilling.
I mean, I call the shop, he answers his phone. He's like, "What's up, fuck ass?" Like it's just like it's super laid back. So just having the time to just work on stuff like that is really special.
That's nice, man. So you're starting your new gig pretty soon then, huh?
Yeah,
Here.
either November 27th is either the first week or it's December 4th. That'll be for 8 weeks long.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's like 3 hours
Well,
away. So
we will
I get
definitely get as
housing.
many we'll get as many live streams in as we can. So
Yeah.
before you
Because
get too wrapped up.
I don't know what my schedule's gonna be, but I'm like, if in a perfect world, if it's Monday through Friday, I would leave Friday night from work and come home for the weekend, and I would leave Monday morning before work and drive the 3 hours, so that I would have time to do, obviously, do Cantina Jargon as well as our own stuff as well.
Well, yeah, I mean you obviously work comes first, so you
Yeah.
know you do what you need to do. But yeah.
Han
We'll
says I also have my own original book called Dark Avenger on Amazon. I appreciate the compliments. That sounds, yeah, that sounds awesome.
I'm gonna pull it up because I just gotta see this. Is it called Dark Avenger?
I thought he was talking about like an Avengers like line.
I mean, there is something called Dark Avengers. That's a graphic novel, but I don't think that's it.
I love anything like to do with Avengers or stuff like that.
Dark Avenger. So there is. I'm just gonna pull it up here. I just always interested in this stuff. So people writing their own. I mean, there's actually a lot of stuff that kind of has this. My own original book called Dark Avenger on Amazon. I appreciate the compliments. It should have my name. Oh, so that's your name. Okay, let's see here. Hans. Here we go with Laura Shin. Wow, man, that is very impressive. 193 pages too. Well, congrats on the effort and getting
Thanks.
that completed. I'll have to check it out and give you a review here. Young warrior's honor for the death of his village is saved by the Dark Lord Zordrath with the power of the Dragon Warrior as an agent. Soon set out on a quest for vengeance. Sounds up my alley. So, right on. All right, guys, go check this out. Book 1 of the Dark Warrior trilogy. So you're writing a trilogy, man? What in the world? This guy is working hard over there. That is like that is wild. I mean, more power to you, man. If you can, if you have the time and, I mean, it's just a lot of effort, right? Like writing takes up a lot of
Yeah.
energy. People don't really realize it, but it takes up a ton of energy. It takes up a ton of time because you rework things constantly. You go back and you change things. Um, so yeah, I mean, that is just awesome, man. If you're able to do that.
Clark says, "How do I get a hold of you guys? The link is working." I just created a new one.
The link isn't
If
working.
possible, could you put your Discord um name in the chat, and I'll go ahead and just add you, and I'll send you the invite in DMs.
There, that works.
Because I don't know why it's not working. Here, I'm just send the link to my wife and have her try it. Han says, "I'll be honest, it wasn't as good as Mandalorian Rising. It had pacing issues. I think the pacing issues is with everything, though. I mean, even the biggest companies struggle with it. Look at Marvel. Look at Star Wars. It's something I know that I'm definitely struggling with what I'm working on.
I mean, it's I've been working on a book too, obviously, and it's tough, man, to be like, are things moving too fast? Am I not giving the characters enough time to develop it? It's there's so many questions, right? You have during while you're working on it, that makes it kind of really tough, honestly. Yeah, so we can all sit there and criticize our own work, obviously, too, as much as possible. But at the end of the day, you know what works best for you, and I think if you're happy with it, that's all that really matters. Because not everyone loves every story, right? It's like when we watch
Yeah.
Star Wars. I mean, like I don't love every story that comes out, but for the main part, I like the world that they've created or the galaxy they've created, and I like the lore and stuff like that. So, um, that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
I mean, I love Star Wars, but you're not gonna catch me dead watching Young Jedi Adventures.
Right.
But I
Yeah,
mean, it's
right.
just not my cup of tea.
It's just not for you. That's
Yeah.
right. It's not for
I
everyone.
mean, it might be for
So,
someone, but it's not for me.
I know. I hear you.
I would definitely though love like a 10-minute mini episode on like Dirge.
Oh, Dirge was sick, man.
Yeah,
Is
the
Dirge
Gendai
technically
did some decent.
canon now, or is
I
like
mean,
Dirge not canon?
Gendai are from Jedi Survivor if they weren't already canon from the one
Right,
taken out.
right. I just,
So
I just don't know. I thought for some reason Dirge did become canon again.
So no, he was canon obviously with the Clone Wars animated show, but then they took him out. Like they took the show away
Right.
and made
The
it
show is
Legends.
no longer
So
canon, so
yeah. So does is he still there? I'll do
that is a
Dirge my
great
Tom Hardy
question.
Bane voice. The thing is that could work. Like I could totally see Dirge being like that,
Oh yeah. I mean,
or even I don't think he's dead now. But whenever I think of someone who could play like Dirge, for some reason, Michael Duncan Clark always comes to mind. He was Kingpin in the Ben Affleck Daredevil. He was in the Green Mile. He was in Scorpion King. Michael
he's
Duncan
in the
Clark.
Green Mile.
Yeah, he's the main character in Green Mile. The guy that
Oh yeah, the huge
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Duncan Clark. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I could totally like when I think of Dirge, I hear his voice.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
like that.
Maybe it's just
That would
me,
work.
but
No, I think that would work. That's sick.
I mean,
Why not?
what
Why
do I
not?
know?
Oh my gosh, where is this freaking no.
Do we have anything more to talk about with the project?
Um, not at this time. Like I said, I mean, it's really more of like I need to get these mock-ups done for the trailer, and then we can start recording voiceovers and getting the music set. Once we get the music set, then we can start storyboarding, and then we'll move on to the animation phase, which will be probably the longest phase, and we have to have support for that because it's gonna one cost money or two just take a million years. So but I think I have some ideas on how we can get that kind of rolling. So but more to come on that. I'm not gonna harp on it too much right now
Yeah.
because we're still moving along here. We're still working on um this opening sequence, and we still have a lot of other stuff we need to do first, like I said. So
Let's say Clark said again that it's this Discord handle. I tried adding you, but it says that the username is incorrect. And I'm just copying it straight out of the chat. But I put mine in the chat. See if you can add me. But
yeah.
definitely though, I'm so excited to hear all these voices and other people's
Oh my gosh, man. Some of these
interpretations.
guys
So
are killing it. I like we said, the Thrawn and Luke and you as Card. I mean,
I mean,
yeah, I'm so ready to hear like some more of this stuff.
no, you said that like the one like I don't know. I don't know like with how you like with card is. I don't know. For some reason this is like not clicking for me yet. Like it's so
Well,
different than what like I think of.
I mean,
But I'm
I'm open
excited.
to I'm still open to, doing some like different interpretations of it. I think the several that you sent me are all
Yeah.
gonna like any of them would work, honestly.
The
I'm
first
down
one that
for
we
all
talked
of
about
them.
though, like I'm so excited to dive into that route. I just don't know like which way to go with it yet.
Yeah, well, I
I
think
guess kind of just need like okay like what do you like just need it kind of mapped out like what do you I don't know like
less Trandoshan though, you know what I mean? If
yeah
the same
yeah
kind of like like the what was I gonna say? Like the
grasp
tone of it is like perfect.
yeah
You know what I mean? But like I guess less like slimy with the
yeah because
Slytherin kind of
when
thing. So yeah.
yeah because I'm thinking like Talon Card's a human. He's not gonna sound like a Trandoshan,
Right,
but at the
right.
same
So it's
time like
like
I don't know when when I saw when I was doing some Talon Card research and I saw the picture of Robert De Niro next to like Talon Card. I thought it was the funniest thing. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
I mean it works. Why not? Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go. Now I know. Hold on, I need to
Han
make
says, I cannot
this.
wait to see this masterpiece. You guys have me pumped. Dude, I'm just as pumped. As much as I'm helping, really, I'm just sitting back as a fan and taking it all in at once. It is really cool.
I mean, I I really, really want to like, yeah, get at least the 3 trailers done. And if we
Yeah.
can get enough support at that point to do this whole thing, I mean, it would be massive. I think it'd be like a dream come true for a lot of us. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pumped about it, man. I want to, I want to get as much of this done as possible on our own without,
Yeah.
all the any help and all that stuff. So, I mean, let's just see what we can do, I guess, right?
Great way of supporting is like and subscribing as well as checking out merch from Jar
That
Jar Jargon's website.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to do it.
Yeah. But you are all free to do whatever you like. It's just liking and subscribing is the easiest way to support. The more exposure we get, the easier it's going to be for this to become more and more. I mean, I wouldn't say available because obviously we don't want to rush it, but it'll still give it more availability when it comes to making it the best we can. If we have the backing behind it, we can make it the best we can.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry,
Uh,
I explained that really weird. I didn't mean to.
no, it's all good. Clark says I'll email you. Yeah, jarjarjargon1@gmail.com. Just email me and happy to check out anything and we can he says now try a different Discord number
Yeah, I got it.
name.
I'm adding it
That
right
might work.
now. Hey,
But
here we
yeah,
go.
Hans, thanks for the support. Everyone, thanks for the support. I've talked about this before, but we are not allowed to do any kind of crowdfunding or anything like that.
Yeah,
That is strictly prohibited by Lucasfilm. What we can do though, potentially is, if you want to be a producer of the project, um, who contributes to the project financially and has creative input in the project, that is a different story. You are essentially one of the creators at that point. So
yeah,
that's a different story. And if you're interested in something like that, reach out to me directly. That's about all I can say about
yeah.
that.
Just go
So,
straight to Joe. Best way to do it:
yep.
email or I'm assuming Discord DMs.
Yeah, Discord DMs, or like I said, my email is jarjarjargon1@gmail.com. So that's pretty clean.
Han says, "Anytime, brother. We're all fans of good stories and the Star Wars universe. That's why we started this thing. Was just we're fans at the end of the day, and we want to talk about good Star Wars news.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a huge fan of Legends. I really like what they did with uh the Skywalkers and the Solos, and we didn't get that in the sequels, and I think that's a lot of the main driver for just saying, why can't we get those stories animated?
Yeah,
Obviously, when that ship has sailed in live action, unless they were to do massive recasts and retconning and stuff like that. So that ship has sailed, but we could still get um, animation, and I think that's really what I'm,
yeah,
vying for here. So
and the fans are there for it. I mean, just look at Clone Wars season 7. That was made solely for the fans. They didn't have to. I mean, the show was canceled for almost 8 years at that point. They didn't have
yeah,
to bring it back, but they did for the fans. So anything's
right.
possible.
They listened. I mean, and who knows? I mean, I don't think they're ever going to listen to us Legends fans, but hey, if
No.
they do, sick. So are you really going to make the Thrawn trilogy as anime? That makes me so happy. Like I said, we want to do trailers for all three of the books first.
Yeah.
And then from that point, we'll continue working on this project, which would be to deliver the first book as, a condensed film, basically. It's
We
not,
also
there's no way it can cover every single
yeah.
aspect of the books. It's impossible. I mean,
We
I don't
also
have $1 million to do
yeah.
that.
We also talked about doing like scenes from the books, doing
Yeah.
little
uh,
couple minute long excerpts,
right.
which can be
Because
beneficial too. Instead of doing the full story, you just get bits and pieces of the best parts, or some parts anyway. You
yeah,
gotta say some, but yeah,
I think that definitely is an option, and I think that's like what we're gonna do with this intro scene, right? So we're gonna have the scroll, we're gonna have the intro scene, and Thrawn's gonna have a couple lines with Pelion, and that this we're gonna get done. I mean, this is the opening scene of Heir to the Empire. I know I can get this done. It's just gonna take some time. And that'll be one scene done. We got Luke in the cave on Dagobah already.
yeah.
Um, and I
Obviously something with Talon Card. I'm assuming that
Yeah,
already
I
is.
mean, well, I mean, there's a lot of big scenes with Talon Card.
Yeah,
So I will say this, and this is just spoiler alert, but it's not really if you've ever read the books or anything like that. But one of the scenes my favorite like sequence in the entire Dark Force Rising book is when Talon is captured by Thrawn and he's on the Chimera, like in prison, and Mara has to go get Luke to help him, like, I'll help her break Talon out. That is one of the best sequences in that book.
yeah,
And we'll definitely have something along the lines of that in the trailer. We got to get it in there because it's like a must have for me to
yeah.
have something from that, from that sequence in the trailer.
I was even gonna say, so with this crawl, is it gonna be red or is it gonna be yellow?
With what?
I
The
can see
crawl? Oh,
I can see like dark force like for like dark forces. I can see that being red.
we'll keep them all yellow,
Keep them all
traditional.
yellow. All right.
But
Yeah.
the logo will be red for
Yeah.
Dark Force
I was
Rising.
gonna say
And
like
then
I don't know. After Dave's red crawl for Ahsoka, I'm like, damn, like that was special of its own kind, and it's
it was
like
cool. I
it
liked
was
it.
cool to see.
Yeah. And we'll keep them all yellow traditional, and the logos, we'll change the colors on those. I don't know what to do for Last Command. I'm thinking like blue or green. I don't know for the logo.
I don't know why I was thinking like white or gray because I'm thinking of like the window picture, like you know what I'm talking about, like the
Yeah, or here this one. And this is just like a Easter egg for you only, Caden, but purple.
perfect.
Because in the
Yeah,
Last Command, I mean, that's the big
yeah,
conflict
that'd
between
be perfect. Yeah.
Sabaoth and yeah, purple could be sick.
Honestly, like I know obviously
Oh,
the logo has changed. I love the older one you had too, the one where it was like more like like the jaggedness for like your like
um,
alternate timeline, like how it looks on there.
oh yeah, I did all of those. Let's see here.
As I like I always just thought like those were so cool, even though like I like that it's more like the how it is now because it feels like a project. But the other one too, I was just like, okay, that's pretty sick.
Well, I had a few of them. So we had this was the like initial one I did. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, but I remember it was Yeah. It's like
That
that. I
one.
think the Dark Force Rising is one that you think you
Here's
should read.
Dark Force
Because I remember
Rising.
like 9 had the XI, I believe, through it, right? Or was 8?
Yeah, I
There's one
have
that
that.
you had. I thought I remember seeing. I could be wrong though.
No, you're right. It's right here. That's the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
command
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean those can work still. I don't hate them.
Well, I was just like how like the bottom of the S goes out. I always just like liked how that looked. I was like, damn, like this feels like a Legends project.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the old like
Yeah,
Legends like video games, right?
yeah, yeah. But no,
Here's
the new
like
one is
Red
still sick
Five
too.
says yellow and have them say episode 7, 8, 9. Absolutely, they will say the
Yeah,
scrolls will say episode 7,
episode.
8, and
Yeah,
9.
they have to.
Absolutely. You guys are doing what I've been saying for years. Legends has so much untapped potential in animation. I tip my hat to you guys. Yeah, I agree 100%. Like it's the stories can so easily be told in animation. It gives us a chance to see this guy again.
Yeah,
You know,
and with not the cost of having to do not only a live action but all the cost of the CGI, we can just do it. The stories that
right?
we want to know, and we don't have to have a bunch of extra stuff come in. It could just be bare bones, but bare bones enough to where it still feels special.
That's right. You can make the story like you can give a visual representation of the story without like breaking the bank, and
Yeah,
that's why I always think that Disney should just do this anyway. But I'd love to see that for the Solo Kids and Yuzong Vong Warbooks. I always thought like the Yuzong Vong would look so sick
yeah.
in animation. I
Especially
watched.
like Clone Wars 2D, or
Yes.
even like
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, they would
yeah,
look menacing. I just watched. And here's some of my NJO. Oh, that's the actual Photoshop file. Whoops. Here's like some of my NJO logos, star by star,
yeah.
which is, I believe, that's the book where Anakin croaks. Um, Vector Prime. So, I, yeah, I mean, dude, the Vong in animation would be so sick. I watched Castlevania, the
Yeah.
anime on Netflix. And there's like the night creatures in there, like have like all these crazy weird designs. But like a lot of them made me think like that would work perfect for like the Vaughn because they have this like they have these wild designs. You know, they're missing a nose and they have like these spikes on their shoulders and stuff like that. So it'd
I
be
just looked
really
it up.
cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool. At the same time, though, too, like when I think of like the Vong, I almost think of like Alien mixed with like almost like zombies. Like if zombies, Alien, and Predator had a baby, that's what they would look like.
Yeah, they kind of do
Like
have like a alien and predator look to them. I don't.
yeah,
It's very 90s. I'll say that much.
yeah,
It's very like
like
90s.
Alien skin and kind of body shape, but Predator's more like I always think of the Vong picture with the tail, and then I think they're holding like a spine in its hand, or
Well,
like a
I don't
bone
think it's a
sword.
tail. It's like it's like some sort of
Yeah,
weapon is what it is. Like some sort of
but I always
whip
think
or
of like the
something. I
Vong
don't
as like
know.
some like almost like an Alien and Predator like hybrid, directed by James Cameron.
Directed by James Cameron. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, a lot of people have said over time, like, oh, the Vong like look like a rip off of all these other sci-fi
Dude,
characters, but like, I don't know. Maybe
I
they
would
are, but I don't
love
really care.
a '90s James Cameron like T2 take on the Vong War. Like
Right?
I that sounds pretty sick.
Oh
Like
my gosh, dude. Imagine James Cameron doing a Star Wars. Oh my god, that would be
why he
incredible.
hasn't. I mean, I guess Spielberg probably is more in the running with how close he is to George over James Cameron. But
Yeah, well, Spielberg, I guess, was like at one time he was asked to do one of them,
was he?
but he couldn't. Yeah, I think it was Return of the Jedi. Actually, I think he had other obligations, so they ended up doing Indiana Jones instead.
Okay, that's fair though. That's fair.
My whole
Oh,
room just like went dark. Whoa, lost my lights, man. My lights went out.
but yeah, no,
Anyway,
definitely though. Like I definitely could see like I'm totally fine with him stepping away for Indiana Jones. Because at the time
Hold on.
Harrison was stepping away too, so I'll catch up. I'll catch up on some comments. Red 5 says yellow. Okay, we got the one. Um, Clark says, "Dude, I binge Castlevania all the time." Tony says, I'm all for animation. The action is more fast paced than live action. Yeah, especially too like especially with Clone Wars.
Back.
How was Ahsoka back? Ahsoka's way more acrobatic. I really like how that looks with Clone Wars. Red 5 also says extra galactic invasion. It's like the Star Wars galaxy, which is already an alien to us, experiencing an alien invasion. Yeah, no, it literally is. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Darth Vader. That would be menacing. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime in a Vader costume, like just bulging coming at you, like that.
It
That
could
would
have
be
worked.
like that would be like Fallen Order Vader, like just being like a menace through the hallway. And he's already got the experience from Conan. We'll let him do it.
Conan
Why
the
not?
Barbarian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like fresh off of Conan, Arnold. Yeah, like why not? What's the deal with Skeleton Crew? Are we gonna get a trailer soon? It's all mysterious. Makes you wonder um, if they had to later their storyline. I believe we're gonna get something soon. I think we have to.
With Skeleton Crew, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a trailer until like
I could
next
see
year,
like a
like
Christmas time trailer.
January. Yeah, January,
New Year.
maybe end of New Year, end of the year, maybe Super Bowl even. Honestly,
If we
February.
don't get it by New Year's, Christmas, it'll be at Super Bowl. That's when they'll wait for it. They're gonna want that ad.
I mean, it is like their competitor to Stranger Things. So
Yeah. It literally is. You're right.
which we
Clark
know
says,
Stranger Things has had Super Bowl ads in the past. So
yeah. Clark says, "Get to the tie hanger" in Arnold voice. I could hear it like with the voice modulator too, like the like.
oh my gosh, unbelievable! That's too funny. Ay, ay, ay.
I really hope though that we do get something on Acolyte by at least spring trailer wise. Like if we get like the Ahsoka like April, or I'm okay. If we don't get Skeleton Crew for Super Bowl, we have to get it May the 4th. But I think May the 4th might be either Bad Batch or Bad Batch and Acolyte. Like Bad Batch be in like the winter or like October, or Acolyte go October and Bad Batch go like August.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or Tails too, whichever one. But I think Tony said Bad Batch was more done when he was there. No, other Tony, sorry. The one in chat.
Yeah, Star Wars Sith
Yeah,
said
Sith.
that. I think he did say that it was pretty far along.
So Bad
like
Batch should probably be first.
that's what I think. I think we're gonna get Bad Batch first because as far as Tales is concerned, we actually have no idea like where that's headed at all. Basically,
We just know season 2 is happening. That's as much as we know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we literally have no idea like anything else basically on that. So
I just know when Tales season 1 came out, when the trailer came out for Tales, I was off my seat freaking out. It's such a cool experience.
Yeah, season 1 was freaking incredible, and it came out like during Andor, and we were all kind of like, like Andor is cool and all, but like, let's not get it twisted here. I need to.
I mean, I wasn't watching Andor, so I was just watching Tales each week when it came out.
Oh yeah,
so, I wasn't even concerned.
I know. Yeah, I remember like Andor was kind of like Andor's great. I don't want to say Andor's not great because I do love it.
Andor's great if you sit down and watch it all
that's
together.
Right. Yeah, week to week, it did not create hype. It wasn't like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens in Andor this week.
That's why I'm so glad I didn't watch it week to week, because I wouldn't have got to experience the show as the insane experience it truly is.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm actually yeah, the way you watched it was like perfect, man. Just
Yeah, that's
waiting to
same thing with not episode, sorry, with Solo. If you haven't seen it yet, watch it now. It's Solo.
Oh, I was the same way with Solo. Like
Solo is
watch
so
it I
good.
watched
It's
it I watched it later
yeah.
on.
I think it's just 2020,
Eh,
right?
yeah, it was like way later. Yeah, that was when I watched it during the pandemic,
Yes,
and
that's when I saw it too.
it was so much better than just when after The Last Jedi, I wouldn't have appreciated it or enjoyed it like I should have, obviously.
Oh yeah,
So
I would have went into the theater shitting on the movie before I even saw it, and I would have hated it.
basically, yeah, and that's kind of the issue. So
It's the same thing with Andor. If I would have watched it week like for the entire week or like every single week, I would have been like, "Fuck the show." But
yeah, I didn't shit on it, but because I enjoyed like the drama of it all, but I
yeah,
wasn't like, oh, this is fucking incredible or whatever,
dude,
So
when because I watched the first 5 episodes, I think, all together all one night, and I don't know if it was five. Maybe it was, no, it would have been the second time watch the second part watching because it was when we got to Neotos, and it was just bumping the like the synthwave music. I was just like, dude, like this is so sick. Like it feels like almost like Blade
yeah.
Runner. I was like, this feels like
Oh yeah.
Scarface,
It
but in Star Wars, and it's like kind of cool.
yeah, it definitely had like a solid Blade Runner vibe at the
Yeah,
beginning. I remember
yeah.
like making that exact comment and being like, wow,
When
this really
like
feels like different.
give Tony Gilroy an ISB like spy show in set in Star Wars universe,
Oh my god,
like
it'd be freaking
separate from
incredible.
Andor. Like that's like everything with ISB. I'm like, dude, like I'm more excited about that than I am like the Andor story right now. Like I don't know. I thought all the
The
ISB
ISB
stuff was
stuff
so
is kind
cool.
of the best part about it, but what I will say is that how sick would it be if they lean into it and do like a Thrawn or a Tarkin a little bit, in
Dude,
season 2. I
when
mean,
New Lauren showed up, I was like, "There's no fucking way!" Like why is she
yeah,
just
Wolfie
randomly here? And
Lauren.
I love it. Like it was so cool just having New Lauren there. And
I know.
I didn't even hear his name at first. The second I saw him, like, oh, Lauren. The second I saw the mustache, I was like, oh, it's Lauren. Like, all right, he doesn't even have to speak.
Right.
Clark says, "FYI, I know this is random, but I am an Oregonan. Sorry, Zahn was born in Bandon, Oregon, a town at the south of the coast, known for making cheese and cranberries. Sorry, I live in Wisconsin, so I say Oregon really weird if I don't correct myself.
And Oregon.
Yeah,
I kind of say it that way too, actually, but that might be the Michigan in me. So yeah.
or yeah, making cheese and
Why is
cranberries.
this
So it sounds like Wisconsin.
floating left and right? What
The
is
ocean spray.
happening here? I gotta find this animation, man. Something is making this like float side to side, which I do not like. You
I
see, like when there's like even 6 X-wings, like in this entire clip, it's just gonna be like, how long it'll take me to freaking animate 6 X-wings? Like,
and it's not like you can just copy and paste it over because
right? Because they all gotta have their own unique
yeah.
flight patterns, and they all gotta like,
I
doing
will say
this.
in Mando season 2, when with everything with Migs, when the TIE fighter came in and the smoke trails did like the looping in the inside, I was like, okay, that's
Yeah,
perfect because that's how that would actually work. And when I saw like the trails with the TIE fighter, I was like, oh, that's sick. I was really hoping to see an Andor when we are getting the TIE fighter shots of like them flying through the highlands. Like the TIE fighter in Andor through the highlands was like hearing it in my headphones. It was like so sick. Like sounded
I mean
so menacing.
that was like menacing, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I thought so, 100%.
And then Thrawn's just like, we'll just waste 2 TIE fighters. Like Clark says, so if I'm doing fighter
Oh,
pilot voices, can my R2 unit be named Goose? Lol, my ego is writing checks my body can't cash. Just have like
got a big
G
Top Gun fan
yeah,
in
like
here.
G0. I don't know how you like abbreviate it. S3. I don't know. Because it would have to be R or something, so I don't know. But I mean, it's up to you, I guess. I don't know. But unfortunately, though, I do have to get going. I got some things I got to take care of.
Yeah, that's fine by me,
That just
man.
came up.
It's getting late anyway. Jesus, we've been streaming for like an
Yeah.
hour and a half or more. So, no, I appreciate everyone who joined today. And Caden, as always, man, it's been great talking with you.
Yeah, it's
And
been great.
we'll continue
Great.
working on this thing and getting done with what we can. Like I said, it's a large scale effort, guys. So, you know,
Yeah.
any support you can show or anything you can do to help out, if you animate, if you um if you want to do a voice acting thing, anything like that, just let me know and we will get it worked out for sure.
With the
So
two, I'm just gonna
my
say
engines are coming off.
really like taking this live too, because getting to talk with everyone, like, and having people, like, even though there's not hundreds of people in the chat talking, being able to interact one on one with you guys is what makes it special. And
I
it's
agree.
definitely a different experience that can't replicate with making it just a video.
Right. It's nice to be able to like
Yeah.
answer the couple questions that come in and just talk with you guys for sure. I love it. So we'll keep doing this for sure.
Yeah.
And there, Red Five's got your your R2 unit. Is that G00Z?
Yeah. Goods.
G0OZ R8G6 Goose.
See, but I would just think of like a G6. Like, it's the first thing I think of is like, I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Anytime I hear G6, I think of the song. So
Yeah. Who sings that song? It's like what is that band
like a
called? They were
G6.
like
I think it's Black Eyed Peas, right?
no. It was like a fake Black Eyed Peas. That's why
It
I'm
was like a
thinking
fake
of
Black Eyed
it.
Peas.
Yeah,
The
that's why
Far
it's
East
like
movement.
that's what it is. Yeah,
That's
okay,
yeah,
that's
okay.
it.
I still thought it was Black
Yeah,
Eyed Peas. I don't know why.
the fake Black Eyed Peas. Nah, they're the fake ones.
Top Gun was made in 1986. That makes sense for R8 G6.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, already, I just like to thank you all guys for coming out. Joe, it's been great as always.
Yeah,
And
appreciate having everyone here, and yeah, we'll do it again maybe next week or
yeah,
well, I don't know. Yeah, next week. Okay.
I'm hoping next week. This is my last week of my normal job. I don't know when I'm starting yet. It could be next week or it could be the week after. But either way, it's definitely not gonna be next week Monday, because I hope I would be told by now. So,
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully next week sometime.
All right.
Yeah, shoot for
Well,
Wednesday.
guys, that'll be it for today then.
Yeah,
Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll talk to you guys next week then, I guess. All right.
deuces.
See y'all.